Hi, Sarah Childress back with you. Okay, it's been a little while since I've seen the menu, but I thought I would just do a very quick little review of it and my thoughts about it, because it seems to be in the kind of cultural zeitgeist at this particular minute. Now, I see the menu as taking really an operatic stab at the one percenters, but it's a film that really, to me, loses steam. Hint, hint. There's going to be a lot of puns in this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and warn you up front. So yes, so the menu is an operatic stab at the one percenters that loses steam as it goes along. I mean, like Triangle of Sadness, which I did not like at all. But I can go into that in more detail later. But like Triangle of Sadness, it does skewer the rich, not just because they're rich, but because their money has made them somehow monstrous. Now, in the menu, the first act is fantastic. I mean, not only for the table setting, see, I warned you that it does, but also for its nuance. I mean, like a chef with well-honed knife skills, it moves beyond the issue of the wealthy's ability to purchase access to high art to also cleverly flay the cultural capital required for what we might conceive of as sophisticated displays of wealth. And this happens, I feel, most astutely in the character of Tyler, played by Nicholas Hoult. So Tyler has culinary knowledge, and he also has tools. He also has, importantly, the palette and descriptive language necessary for a kind of pro-am connoisseurship of this kind of haute cuisine. I mean, he's super rich, but he's also super passionate. And so the film seems to at first give him a bit of a buy for that. You know, he's not just here because he can be here. He's here because he desperately, passionately wants to be here. But soon enough, this passion becomes a form of bullying as he weaponizes this knowledge and uses it to silence and dismiss the thoughts and opinions of his dining companion, who is Anya Taylor-Joy's Margot. Now, as we're seeing here, knowledge, like money, can also turn people into monsters. It all depends on how you use what you have. But as the film continues, critiques like this, which I think are quite savvy and really kind of hit hard and hit home, especially for those of us who don't have money, but who do depend on a certain kind of cultural sophistication, like that's our currency, that's our wealth. And so that's why I was like, ooh, ouch, this hurts a little bit in the beginning. But as the film continues, these kinds of critiques really lose their teeth as genre conventions take over. So it moves kind of from a scathing satire into a genre exercise, because the genre conventions could have been used to deepen the critique. In fact, that's one of the reasons I love horror films, because I feel like horror films use their genre conventions to really lay bare a lot of the social dynamics that are worthy of, if not critique, then at least exploration. But in this film, the conventions really do just become kind of empty genre exercises. So I'll give you an example of that. The final girl. So the final girl here is textbook. I mean, she has sass, she has smarts, she unites the masculine and feminine qualities as final girls are supposed to, in that she's observant and resourceful, also like feminine and sexy, and she has the inner strength within her to fight back, which becomes quite key in this particular film. But there's no creative spin on the formula of the final girl to suit the topic. For example, Margot walks a very fine line that could have been used to sharper effect. I mean, like her antagonist, she started out in the working class and gained access to wealth through her natural ability, her talents, and her hard-won experience. And her antagonist, and kind of recognizing this similarity in her to himself, he's actually willing to grant her, if not equality, at least collegiality. But the film really doesn't offer her either. While her antagonist is fleshed out via theme building and character deepening motivations, Margot simply kind of shifts into final girl mode that showcases her resourcefulness, but doesn't really individuate her, in my opinion. What makes her uniquely able to navigate this situation? I mean, how might she too be an artist but one not as derailed by cynicism as her antagonist is. I mean, especially all things considered, when it would appear she should be the cynical one given her line of work. This lack of fleshing out, I think, it makes her occupation seem cliche. I mean, honestly, cliche, lazy, and kind of sexist. It's an easy way to quickly characterize her and get her on the island, as well as explain her ability to read men and what they really want. And I think as a result, this kind of drains any chance for life and complexity from Anya Taylor-Joy's performance. I mean, it's kind of hard to give depth to a one-dimensional object. As for the ending, I mean, this is no spoiler, but it's fun to see Chef Julianne Slowick make everyone literally pay for their privilege. But the digestif, so to speak, I mean, it seems a little bit pat and also oddly ennobling to all. I mean, given what this film is dealing with and with the title that it has, I would have expected more of an eat the rich twist. Oh well. But I would have loved to see what a filmmaker like Dario Argento or Julia Ducournau might have done with this particular script. Anyway, I'm interested to hear what you think. Please share your comments below. See you next time.